Welcome back to 843 TV. Joining us now is Steve Wilmot. He's the tournament director for the RBC Heritage presented by Boeing. Now, obviously, being the tournament director, you've got a strong involvement with the event, but tell us a little bit about your history and how you got involved.
Well, thank you for having me. And but it's you know, I had a business opportunity here with regards to the tournament back in the summer of '86, and I truly thought I'd be here for 10 months, and it's been, as I mentioned, 30 pounds later. But it's been 32 years, and you know, I'm honored. I'm privileged. I was the first employee of the Heritage Classic Foundation, and to think of all the good that the foundation has done and continues to do, both from certainly the charitable side of things, but the economic side of things to this community, and to have great partners as HHI as well as the Chamber and many others here in this community. It's you know, cheers to 50 years, and it's a great, truly a partnership and a community event for everybody.
Yes.
Having been with the tournament 30-some years, you've seen so much in your time. It's the 50th playing. What are some key things that you're excited about or that you can share about this particular anniversary?
Well, you know, you obviously plan, you know, we're already planning for 2019 too, but you only have one opportunity for the 50th anniversary, and this has been an effort by the foundation for almost 4 years now of coming up with a logo and then the branding and some other things, but working with our partners. And this is a celebration not just for us, but the likes of Coca-Cola and Anheuser-Busch and Harbour. They've been with us for 50 years. So there's some really exciting things we can talk about. There's some things we can't right now, but it's for us to have the 50th. We're one of only 4 events on the PGA Tour that have had an event as long as we have on the same golf course and the same place.
Wow,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is,
significant.
and I'm getting chill bumps thinking about it, because you think about it, we are truly one of, if not the smallest markets on the PGA Tour, and for us to have an event in our backyard like this, we continue to work hard, the foundation, and obviously with our partners, to make sure that we keep it here. We have 2 great partners in RBC and Boeing, in addition to the town, wanting to make sure that we continue to grow and to get better, to be better, to do better, and as well as to support the economic growth in this community and continue to give back.
You bring up a good point. So looking at this on a broader spectrum, what does this event mean, not just to our community, but the broader Beaufort County community, even the state?
Well, the interesting thing is, when the television cameras go on Thursday, there's over 220 countries, in addition to over 1 billion viewerships watching the event through that period, and that's the eye on this community. It's about Hilton Head Island. And we are the biggest event in South Carolina. You know, there are some other events, and obviously some of these home football games around the state are pretty big on those days. But to be able to give back in excess of almost over $36 million to charity now, but then the economic impact of this community in South Carolina is close to $100 million each year of the week of the tournament.
I hadn't thought about that, how that little window out into the world educates people as to the beauty that our state offers. I remember, in fact, a few years ago, I had a friend call me while the Heritage was on, and they said, "Hey, I'm watching this golf tournament. Is that where you live?" I said, "Yeah, I've only lived here for 13 years, but I'm glad you finally figured it out." They said, "Oh my gosh, it looks amazing."
Well,
you know,
well, and it's, you know, there's a lot of us that are here, and I had an opportunity to speak to the Athletic Club of the Low Country the other night, and a majority of them, the reason they're here, they saw it on TV and things too. So we're fortunate in that respect. We have an iconic lighthouse in the background that people truly connect the dots with, and we, you know, to have the Calabogie Sound, the beaches, we have some very special things. We're pretty lucky to live here, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
But we continue to strive to work hard. We anticipate a great year this year, and there's a lot of things in the working with you know, the partners such as the Chamber on the Chamber Ball.
Share with us some more about the charitable arm that I think a lot of people may not be aware of. How much goes to charity in our community from the Heritage Classic Foundation?
Well, I mean, that's a part of our mission statement, is, you know, we do what we do for the bottom line and giving back and all, and where we're unique in in a certain aspect is the fact a lot of these tournaments, PGA Tour events such as FedEx St. Jude, they support the St. Jude's Hospital, wonderful cause. Up at Wells Fargo up in Charlotte, they support Teach for America, wonderful cause and all. But we touch on hundreds of different organizations. So we give back to a lot of different organizations and support. Also, what's unique is our concession situation. Most tournaments have professional organizations that come in and run these. We have volunteers. They're all, the 8 concessions out on the golf course are 8 civic organizations that volunteer their time as the additional volunteers that support it, and it's their biggest fundraiser each year.
And a lot of the schools participate, and that's their biggest fundraiser, and that gets the kids out, the parents out. That's quite a big thing.
A perfect example of that, I mean, you can talk about the schools and things too, is I'll use the Bluffton High School as an example. They handle our ecology. If you talk to the former coach, Coach Cribbs, or Coach Hop right now, they look at it as team building, responsibility, and in the meantime, we're able to give back to them, and from equipment to film equipment, and support their efforts too. So it's truly, we want it to be a win-win-win for everybody, and we continue to want to build on these partnerships.
Now I have to ask, 32 years, I'm sure it's hard to pick out just one, but there's got to be a special memory.
There are many.
I would imagine.
And there are some good ones and some bad ones too. But something unique happened years ago. Davis, my first tournament in 1987 was also Davis Love's first win. He's gone on to, he's made a few more dollars than me. He's been pretty successful and done a lot of great things, and is being a great friend. But his last win here was about 10 years or so ago, and he actually had, after he won, he grabbed my son and said, "Hey, why don't you come in the interview with me?" And my son was only yay big, and next thing I know, he disappeared for a couple hours and all, and he was in the interview room and sitting next to him. Well, then I had media come up to me and go, "How great is that Davis shared his victory with his son?" I'm like, "No, that was my son." So I'm like, wait a minute here. So he ended up disappearing with Davis, and that's just how Davis is. And for me, and we talked 2 years ago. He's a grandfather now, and for him and I to think that 32 years ago he was here, and he's a grandfather now, and going through these things. But we continue. Please know, I continue to want to learn. We continue to want to learn and get better. And just because we did something a way 5 years ago, let alone last year, might have been right. But let's figure out what we can do better so that we can continue to have this great event for this community, showcase this wonderful community, and let people know that we're pretty special, pretty lucky here.
Absolutely. So. Well, stick around. We're going to be back with some more fascinating conversation about the RBC Heritage as well as the Chamber. And so stick around for more 843 TV.